So if I start dying, I'm going to duck under the table, drink something, and hopefully survive. So we have Justin Hagen here on our right with Pyrostatic Burn. As we were saying kind of last week, some of these innovations coming back, playing Pyrostatic Pillar in his main deck against Patrick Dooley, who is on Moneyball Black. Another, every time somebody says black is dead, a black deck seems to appear to say, no, it's not. And this is one of those. Notably, Moneyball was piloted to the win in our first Mogg event back in October by Grant Fly from online. So you are also a Moneyball enthusiast to a point. How do you find this matchup to be?
Burn is the matchup that you most want to try and fix post board.
Okay.
With the Moneyball list. There is one card in your deck that is very, very good against Burn, and that card is Ravenous Rats.
Yes.
Ravenous Rats is a clean 2-for-1 against the Burn deck. Because every one of their creatures has 2 toughness. Or 1 toughness. So
Correct.
Everything trades for a Ravenous Rats. And every card that you get out of their hand is a real Magic card.
Yes, that is true. The rats are a very, very potent weapon. Now, does Moneyball typically play full duresses and therapies from the get-go?
It's 7 or 8 copies.
7 or 8 copies. Okay.
And those are varying amounts of value. Also, it's a Dark Ritual deck, so you have 12 cards that you don't really want to see from turn 3 onward against Burn.
Yeah. Now this Burn deck, Pyrostatic Pillar, very effective against something like Moneyball Black because the vast majority of your spells cost 3 mana or less.
Basically your entire deck.
Yeah, except Graveborn Muse, and you're still taking damage from that thing. So this matchup becomes interesting if Justin goes turn 1 creature, turn 2 like Pillar, and has that angle going for it. How quickly, how can Patrick play around that, play that down without getting blasted in the face by a bunch of stuff?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if Justin's gone so far with this particular list as to many of these Pyrostatic Burn lists have leaned more heavily on cutting like a ball lightnings and playing Mishra's Factories and get 2 encampments.
Right.
So
yeah, we'll see what Justin, whether Justin's on the more creature land heavy burn build of the deck, or just a deck that's more a pure burn deck, but with an additional source of damage, a la Eidolon of the Great Revolt.
Yep. Mishra's Factory, though, great out of the black deck.
Yep.
Probably one of the cards they want to see very quickly.
Other card that matters a lot from both sides of the matchup is Curse Scroll.
That card is ridiculous in the matchup.
Yeah, Curse Scroll just represents so much. Like, it just means you can't ever, if you have any kind of meaningful board presence, then you just can't.
You can't really capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the quote-unquote devil, is the cursed scroll on turn 1, the Mishra's Factory, to allow pressure under a Pyrostatic Pillar. So Patrick off to a great start here.
Yeah, these are some of the best cards in this matchup.
Yep. Now, in this matchup, how quickly are you firing off things like duresses, or how aggressive are you with like a therapy? Like, say you name it and see 2 incinerates. Are you immediately like sacrificing your factory to get those incinerates? Like, how aggressively are you playing your discard?
It's very matchup dependent, and has to do a lot with the kinds of calculations you're going to. It has a lot to do with the calculations you can do about your life total and what opponent's what cards your opponent has in hand. So if you happen to know off a duress that your opponent has 2 incinerates and they're tapped out, yeah, you'll trade a creature for 2 incinerates, because that's what Philosophy of Fire tells you to do. But for the most part, I'm biasing against sacrificing creatures to therapy and trading 1-for-1 in a lot of cases. And actually, therapy is one of the cards I don't really want to have in my deck post board. It's a card a card that I'm not really happy with after game 1.
Okay.
Because it just ends up going dead so early. Yep. And the flashback half, where you have to sacrifice a creature, is just a bit of a non-starter.
Yeah. Little heads-up play here. Patrick going ahead, he was able to Dark Ritual out that rat and have the extra mana he needed to utilize that Cursed Scroll to get rid of the Grim Lavamancer while Justin was tapped out. There is a Cursed Scroll and a Pyrostatic Pillar. Now, this is going to start to get rough for Patrick. There's already 2 Mogg Fanatics out there. That's going to nullify his Ravenous Rats.
I think you mean the other way around. But I definitely agree. Like, you're much more concerned about your burn opponent having a Curse Scroll than you are happy having your own Curse Scroll.
Yeah, maybe I said that backwards. Like, he's got the rats covered because he can deal with it with a Fanatic or whatever.
And Patrick literally just drew one of the worst cards in his deck.
That's
and Snuff Out.
And he also has Skeletal Scrying in hand.
Skeletal Scrying is probably better than drawing Phyrexian Arena. So one of the things about Patrick's deck is Patrick is on 2 copies of Skeletal Scrying and 1 copy of Phyrexian Arena main deck.
Okay.
Plus the I believe it's still a one of the one of Snuff Out. So there's a lot of cards that do just cost a bunch of life, and those are feel like non-starters against burn. It is notable that Justin has not dealt a single point of damage against Patrick thus far this game.
It's definitely been a very controlling game. A lot of one-for-oneing, a lot of this for that. Game is about to bust open here, in my opinion.
I will say, though, with this Pyrostatic Pillar in play, Curse Scroll only really costs 2 life.
Yeah, that's true. I have to favor Justin right here. I just feel like he's in such a better position. There's like the Pyrostatic Pillar, like with that Curse Scroll, it means he doesn't actually have to play anything like right now at all.
Well, it depends.
Okay, walk me through it, because
So when you have Curse Scroll and you have multiple cards in hand,
sure,
you have to figure out. You have to either cast those cards, or you have to spin. You've got to spin the wheel with a Curse Scroll.
Yeah.
So you do end up having to cast the cards if you want to represent ongoing damage with Curse Scroll.
Sure. To maybe make it more clear is he has enough control here where even if he's casting dealing to himself, he can, with this Curse Scroll, he can go face with those burn spells.
Yeah.
Sorry, is maybe a more accurate way of saying. He can go face with the burn spells to stay ahead in the damage race.
Yep.
So he's gotten in there a couple times with these Fanatics. If you're you, are you, as soon as you can with Patrick, trying to trade immediately with a Fanatic if it attacks?
Yeah, I'm blocking immediately.
'Cause I think he has declined to block at least once.
And maybe this game one is just bad enough where you just never really want to. And maybe the play is maybe Patrick may be playing to just use the Curse Scroll to represent damage on these Mogg Fanatics. But I feel if I'm in Patrick's seat, I really strongly want to block with the Ravenous Rats.
Yeah, like there's you Curse Scroll and a Mogg Fanatic, but that means they just sack and hit your face, so it's actually just net negative really for you, right? Like you're almost time walking yourself. I would not play this Phyrexian Arena. I mean, I guess there's not really much choice, but like Phyrexian Arena damages you. It makes your Curse Scroll worse.
I think there's a lot. I mean, I think Patrick has drawn some of the worst cards in their deck.
I can agree with
against
that.
Burn. Like these are the cards you don't want to see in this match.
Right. And then what we just saw there is not blocking with that Ravenous Rats opens up the possibility of Justin, end of turn, just shooting the Ravenous Rats with the Curse Scroll, and now you got no value out of them.
Yeah, and it's also possible, there's also lines to play where you're like, I need to block this Mishra's Factory.
Sure.
But that's all already taken offline by just the mere presence of these Mogg Fanatics.
Yeah. I mean,
I think this matchup is very challenging. I think Pyrostatic Pillar is a more challenging version of the Burn deck because of the recurring damage that it represents.
Yes. So Justin really rolling on all cylinders right here. I do not know if Patrick just took a damage from his Phyrexian Arena. I didn't catch it. I'm gonna assume he did. If he didn't, we'll just watch that going forward.
I mean, I think if you're on the burn side, you can let the black player get a free bite at the apple with the arena and still get there.
Probably. Yeah. Patrick is starting to feel said burn, hand to the forehead. What do we do? Sort of feeling here.
I mean, right now representing. Let's see. Does Justin have a card in hand? No.
Yes, he does. It's off to his right. Yeah, Justin has a card in his hand. It's on his right, I believe. It's face down.
Curse Scroll is Bloodstainmire.
Yep. And Justin wisely not attacking with both factories to be able to save his factory from...
To potentially trade factories.
Yep. And also not let it get shot by...
Curse Scroll.
Curse Scroll.
Yeah, that's actually probably more relevant. Because if Patrick goes for block on the factory and pump, it's going to get answered by Justin's Curse Scroll.
Yes. So, yep, attack here. Coming in. Hard cast Snuff out.
Yeah.
Now that gets around Pyrostatic Pillar.
It does. So that's going to deal with the factory. Still coming in for 2. Going to 6.
6. I mean, this is it here. Just sack, shoot.
And then you can't ever cast a spell again?
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, you're going to die because of your own Phyrexian Arena?
Yeah. Or just, let him kind of make a statement. No, you're going to draw those cards, and you're going to like it. As these players go through the motions, again, we're here at the wonderful Delta Beer Lab. I am sipping on their root beer soda. It is delicious.
On the other extreme, I've got their Paloma Gran Goza.
So if you're ever in Madison, Wisconsin at our events, just hanging out, stop by the Delta Beer Lab. Great drink, good food, great atmosphere. So you can't ask for a better partner in doing this.
And if Saturdays don't work for you, we're also here on Wednesdays.
We are weeklies, 6:15 p.m. Weeklies out here. 3 rounds. I believe it's $5 entry. Paid off. All money goes to winners, etc., etc. Games, friendship, cards. What more could you really say?
And Will, tell us more about this tournament series that we're running.
Oh, absolutely. So this invitational series, as we see Justin lock up game number 1 here, moving into the sideboard, it is a 12-month series in which we'll play 12 invitationals. Every winner of these events automatically gets a spot in the 16-person invitational. So we can have up to 12 unique winners. To fill out the rest of those 16, all but the 16th one will be based on points earned through this event. So if for every win you get points, they're tallied up. So it behooves you, if you care about this sort of thing, to kind of, even if you go 1-4, whatever, just get what you can, play, have fun. So winners get in, top point earners get in. A good caveat is if a winner wins twice, they only get 1 slot. It does not filter down. That will just filter through to points at the end. And then our last spot in this league is based on essentially a raffle of the people who attended the most events. So say you attended every single one of them along with 2 other people. Names in the hat, pick it out. They get that last spot. And once you're there, we'll play an event in which the winner will receive a full play set of each Onslaught fetch and a 1-of-1 playmat with art commissioned by a pre-modern artist. So a very fun event to end it. We hope that people want to play in it, want to get into it, see it as a challenge. So, yeah, that's where we are.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We've just barely gotten into this series thus far. This is the second entry in this tournament series. So, if y'all want to come out to our local scene and spike it, you got what, 12 more opportunities?
10 more after this
10 more,
one.
10
Yep.
more opportunities.
Yep, 10 more opportunities. 32-person cap. This event space is amazing. Nice and tidy. We got to 29, so we almost capped out this time, which is great. And it's also a room full of amazing players. So,
Yeah, we see Justin here agonizing over their sideboarding decisions.
it's like, what are we doing? What, as Moneyball, what are you taking out?
Great question. It depends on what's in my sideboard.
All right.
Let's
well,
take a look and
let's
see.
do that.
Let's see. What's Patrick up to? Patrick has got a Parish, a Masticore, 2 Glooms, 2 Phyrexian Furnaces, 2 Plague Spitters, 4 Plagues, 2 Dystopias, and 1 Phyrexian Arena. Not a whole lot of cards that say gain life here, but one card I will call out here as being very good in this matchup is the card Masticore. Masticore is a card I'm excited to put in my deck.
Okay.
Because Masticore has 4 toughness.
Yep.
So it dodges all but Fire Blast, which is, I don't even know how many Fire Blast Justin is on, given the more mana hungry and creature land heavy aspect of the deck. And the ability to just pay 1, kill creatures, or pay 2 to kill a creature is fantastic. One thing I do know is I don't want cards that have me draw cards and lose life in my deck.
What do you think about bringing in the Engineered Plagues?
I've played a fair number of decks with Engineered Plague in my sideboard, and usually against the black decks, I bring in 2 or 3 copies of Engineered Plague.
Okay, that makes sense.
You should think of Engineered Plague as cranial extraction for a specific creature in their deck.
Correct.
And usually that card in the for Moneyball is going to be Grimlawmancer.
Yep.
Because of its ability to answer most of the creatures in your deck.
Yep.
I also would consider Plague Spitter as, even though it's symmetrical damage. The way you have to play these games is a race. You are trying to get your opponent to 0, and actually, there's some interesting dynamics here in this matchup in which cards like Pyrostatic Pillar and Sulfuric Vortex are symmetrical sources of damage, and so you can put your burn opponent in a spot where they are forced to choose whether they want to cast spells in a way that increases your own clock.
Sure.
And so you can kind of use the symmetry of the damage dealing effects to your advantage.
Right.
But at the same time, like in game 1, what we saw was that Patrick drew a billion cards that dealt damage to themselves, and that kind of locked up the game.
Yeah. What do you think about Phyrexian Furnace? Is Justin on? I mean, he's got Grimlawmancer. I did not see any Barbarian
I don't
rings.
think you can play both Barbarian Ring and Mistress Factory in the same deck, unfortunately. We can check and see whether Justin's on anything. I think it's not enough fundamentally. Also, you might consider it against other burn decks, but with Pyrostatic Pillar in the deck, having a card that just cycles that costs 2 mana and cycles is far less appealing than against burn decks that are not registering this card.
I buy that. I do buy that.
Let's take a look on Justin's side to see if there's anything interesting in the sideboard. Anything with... So yeah, no Barbarian Rings in the 75.
Yeah.
And usually what happens is there's just not that many cards for burn to bring in against Moneyball. So in Justin's sideboard we have Price of Progress, 2 Price of Progress, 2 Tormod's Crypt, 2 Mogg Salvage, 2 Pyroblast, 3 Overload, 3 Red Blast, 1 Anarchy. So really the only cards that you can consider is like Overload, which I think is a card you want in your deck.
You do.
And maybe you want Mogg Salvage, but I imagine you don't because it costs 3 mana.
I think you want Overload and you want the 2 Price Progress, because if you go to his main, I think like you cut like a Blistering Firecratic. I think that's clunky. And I think I like the idea of 2 Price of Progress is better than Incinerate. Personally,
I am worried when I play Price of Progress from the burn side because you are also playing your Mistress Factories. You have the chance of dealing yourself damage.
sure.
And really, the Moneyball deck is really only playing Mistress Factories and a couple Wastelands, and those Wastelands may or may not be in the deck, and are really not always going to actually represent damage when
Sure.
there's price targets in play. But we are into the games here, so
Very least, I think on the last part, overload for blistering.
Overload
fire,
definitely comes in.
Overload over the blistering Firecats.
Yep.
3 for 3 would be me.
Yep.
Ravenous Rats here.
There's rats. Yeah, the Mogg Fanatic versus Ravenous Rats. So we're starting to see, I think this is the best card in the Moneyball deck. Well, it's the best. It's the best like plan against against the burn deck from the Moneyball side. You just draw 3 copies of rats, and you're
And you're golden.
You're just golden. Exactly. It's like it's like casting Gerard's Verdict against your burn opponent.
Yeah. So mountain. Turn 2 power set. Why are you? So this
Turn
is
2 pillar.
This is maybe just different to how I play the deck. Like, there's no reason not to swing with that Mogg Fanatic there and make him make choice. Either you get a free damage,
right,
or there's nothing threat on the board. Like,
yeah, I think in general, I think I would swing with a Mogg Fanatic here. But maybe there's just some value in keeping it. Cards like Nantuko Shade are pretty high leverage.
Yeah. I'm a little worried. I do not know when he drew that Curse Scroll in his hand. I almost would have played that Curse Scroll before.
Playing with a wretch and passing. I am very tempted to just swing with this Ravenous Rats.
I mean, make him make a choice with the...
Exactly. Yeah. If my opponent didn't want to swing, that means that they think I want to swing.
Yeah, so they're just going to... Creatures looking at creatures. So this Curse Scroll has to come down. Take a point. 18.
18 and then down to 16.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and Curse Scroll is such a important card in this matchup. Notably because Patrick's list just has no way of answering this resolved artifact.
I mean, or like, no, he's just going straight for it.
Just going for Pyrus. Just going for the
sulfuric
vortex.
All right. I mean, I can see it. It feels like you. I feel like his order of doing this.
I think Patrick's in a great position to win this game. Actually,
Yeah, Patrick, I think just do a duress.
I'm not doing any. Yeah. Okay. So Patrick plays a swamp here, and I think we're gonna see them go to combat.
Okay.
I feel very strongly that the combat is what is in order here.
Why are you not swinging with this rats? It makes. I don't like. That's just a free. Let me kill your.
Right, and you're not even forced. You aren't. There's a way of forcing the issue by swinging with the rats.
Yeah. Fair enough. So damage taken.
And Patrick just gonna pass. I wonder what the composition hand is.
I don't know. He needs to. He has at least one more land in his hand. He needs to. Justin needs to play this Curse Scroll right now.
Scroll Fire Blast.
He has double Fire Blast.
Scroll double Fire Blast. That's a lot of damage.
Like, that's essentially kill range. Yep, take 2. Like, or no, that's a blistering Firecat. God, I hate that card. I like that card. That card is not the card for these sorts of things.
Do you think Justin is supposed to just play the Firecat here?
I think you want to play this Cursed Scroll because...
Well, can't you just... Oh, okay, we're still on the turn. Okay, just play the Morph. Face down card.
Why do you...
Because then you get to untap and kill the Withered Wretch on your upkeep, and then still have Fire Blast available.
I mean, you still have Fire Blast available regardless, and it doesn't... I don't think taking the 2 damage here is better than just waiting a turn and hard casting the Firecat and not taking a damage. Because Firecast is 4.
So I guess your expected amount of damage from Curse Scroll is 1 currently.
Yeah. Well, there's a way that ends the game because Blistering Firecat's 7.
Yep. And
right?
you use 6 additional points.
And then plus you Fire Blast
and you get
them.
2. And you get 2. So it's just about whether you're casting a spell. So Cabal Therapy. Yeah. Basically, if your opponent casts a spell, they lose.
See, okay. I don't like this because this next turn, if he does, I mean, whatever. Like if you hard cast.
Now we're in a different position.
Okay.
Because now the Fire Blast is out of the hand.
Did he take the 4 from the Fire Blast?
Did he cast? Was the Fire Blast cast? No, the Fire Blast was not cast in response, was it?
Where did his lands go?
Oh, did we sack 2 lands for Fire Blast?
Did he take 4? Because he was at 16. He took 2 off. Yeah, he took the 4. He's at 10. He's good. He was at 16. He took 2 off the sulfuric and then 4 from the fire blast. But see, now this puts Justin in a position where he can't. He needs to draw a land, I believe, to flip the fire cat because it's 3, or is it 2 to flip fire cat?
2 to flip fire cat.
Okay, never mind. He's fine.
If you're in Patrick's seat, I do like attacking, but we don't see an attack here. Just valuing blocking the 2/2. Proposing a trade. I mean, I'd just go for this.
Yeah, there's no way you can. Is that snuff on?
It looks like Contagion.
Contagion's an interesting one.
Is that Contagion? It looks like Contagion to me. But I don't know if that's in the deck.
I believe he does have a Contagion in the deck. I believe. That would be spicy.
Unfortunately, not a second. There's not a second a black card in the hand.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a 1 of Contagion in the deck. There's Fire Cat.
Yeah, and he looks like he neglected to block. Contagion needs 2 black cards, right?
1 black card.
1 black card. Okay.
It's the part of the alliances. It's the other card in the alliances cycle that makes you pay life in addition. So you get to pay. You can pay 1 life and then distribute 2 weakness counters among creatures, and then I think they get removed, or maybe they don't get removed. I don't remember. They might get. No. It's Bounty the Hunt that removes the counters.
Yes, Bounty the Hunt does.
Yeah, Contagion they stay on.
I don't know.
So this will kill the Fire Cat, and you can choose to just put 2 weaknesses on the Fire Cat.
Correct. It does not have to be
You
separate.
choose the number of targets and you distribute the counters.
Yes.
At when the spell resolves, or you choose the distribution of the counters when you cast the spell.
That's a spicy one there.
Contagion has seen play in black decks. It's very good against decks like Elves, but in general, it's a little too
narrow.
Yeah. The other card, there's other free spells to play in this Moneyball list as well, namely Spinning Darkness. Yeah. I think Spinning Darkness is one of the better tools against burn that Moneyball has, but you can only play so many copies because of the cost. The alternate cost of Spinning Darkness is exile the top 3 black cards in your graveyard.
Yes.
So that's a tough spell to cast the second time. And it's hard to cast on turn like 1 or 2.
All right, so a graveyard exiled.
So we're seeing Justin at 8.
Notably, Justin did find the other land to be able to curse scroll.
Factory's a great draw here.
I mean, he's...
So Patrick, so we have
4.
4, and that means that Justin probably just needs to point this curse scroll at the. Again, Justin's just dead. The math doesn't work. Yeah, and so I think it is like these recurring sources of damage that the symmetrical recurring sources of damage that Justin can deploy are actually liabilities. I think the correct play to make against the Moneyball, like the correct sideboarding choice to make against the Moneyball deck, is to simply board out your sulfuric vortexes.
Okay.
And then to board in your overloads and keep your blistering fire cats in because it's an asymmetric source of damage.
Yeah, I get that.
Every time I'm playing against Burn, my opponent resolves a sulfuric vortex. I feel like I have a foothold in the game.
Right. I also think that the way Justin was staggering his spells made it tougher on him. I feel like he could have ordered them better. Like the turn he played the sulfuric, I think is probably more appropriate to do something else because I think he had
like a fire cat to play face down.
Maybe as a fire cat to play face down or to play that curse scroll earlier. Like I feel like if he orders that differently, he saves himself at least 2 to 4 points of damage in a meaningful way.
Yeah, I don't remember enough of Justin's hand to recall this. I also think, I don't know how many times Justin has had an opportunity to play against Moneyball.
Right.
And I think the deck, you have a certain set of expectations about what it does as a black mid-range deck.
Right.
But it can kind of defy those expectations,
Yep.
especially in those post-board games. So I'm very open to seeing players try and figure things out on the fly, and evaluate. And seeing them iterate and evaluate is always a really fun thing when you're watching these matches. See players play differently between game 1 and game 3.
Yep.
So hopefully we'll see that here as we're going to game 3 between Justin Hagen and Patrick Dooley.
Yep, and play draw does matter in this matchup. I think to a decent degree.
Yeah, and so Justin being on the play is quite big for them.
Yep. All right, well, it looks like we're going to kick this one off here.
So a kept 7 on Justin's side.
All right.
Looks like both players are evaluating. Justin thinking long and hard about this hand.
Yep. Definitely want something aggressive.
Hard to not have that with the burn deck.
You'd be surprised. The number of hands when I've played burn that just are these dirtily, like, hands.
Deal 12.
Deal 12, and then we stop. Like, it happens more often than I would like to admit. And that is one of the things we've seen the burn decks move a lot away from the bobble burn of old. And that is where something that bobble burn shined is. Those bobbles really pushed you in a direction of forcing the action, just being able to get that little information, dig a card deeper, put it in the graveyard. It just fulfilled so many things that, as a slide player, you like. Where when I've played it now, I do miss it, and that's why I lean more towards more of those red-green aggro lists now that you're sacrificing a little bit, but I'm getting Call of the Herd. I'm getting a couple copies of Sylvan Library.
You're getting naturalized.
I'm getting naturalized, Tranquil Domains.
Yep.
Just to fill in some of the solo. But we got a Grim Lavamancer to start here. Done off a fetch. I think I see a Therapy in Patrick's hand.
Yeah, Grim Lavamancer is such a strong card against the black decks. This black deck in particular. So we can start with Duress. It's an appropriate ordering. So we got a Seal of Fire, an Overload, and a Lightning Bolt.
You 100% take the Overload.
Does Patrick have a Curse Scroll?
I mean, he has it in his deck. I think that's the more important question. Like,
I'm open to just taking Bolt here. You have Cabal Therapy in hand. That Curse Scroll is going to get stranded, and eventually you can pick it off when it becomes relevant. But that card's not going to be relevant right away.
1 point.
Just playing a Curse Scroll and passing. And Grim Lavamancer going for its strongest mode.
Attack.
Attack is a 1/1.
Take 1. Message sent.
Goblins of the Flarg never had so good.
Yeah, like, there's no way you don't Therapy and take this stupid Overload right now.
I'm more tempted now that I've got a Mistress Factory, but there's nothing more that I want to do in this situation than cast Ravenous Rats.
That's fair.
And also, cast Ravenous Rats, and maybe Justin, evaluates wrong, and
Dumps the Overload.
I
I think he might have thought about it for a second.
Yeah.
His hand hovered. Take a point there. No, lies. He's looking at cards. Got to check the pocket cards.
Just not.
Passes.
Yeah, it has Sulfuric Vortex in hand, is not casting it.
Interesting.
Yeah, what that suggests is that card should not be in the deck.
Yeah, if you don't want that card on the battlefield, you should not have it right now. Because it's not going to get any better than here. You're at parity on the board. You have a burn spell to get ahead of them. You have a Grim Lavamancer to get ahead of them.
It's definitely a statement about who's the beatdown here.
Right.
And with Grim Lavamancer on board, Justin can just afford to sit back here and exile cards in the graveyard and get rid of Patrick's creatures. So we're going to see a Dark Ritual. And we're going to see a Engineer Plague.
Naming.
Well, we're going to see what happens. I assume in response we're going to see the rat go down. And then Plague is going to be on human or wizard.
I think you named Wizard because Withered Wretch is a human. No, he's a zombie.
Cleric. Zombie Cleric.
He's a zombie cleric? Okay. Are there any humans in Moneyball?
No.
Are there any wizards in Moneyball?
No. They're insects. They're insects, specters,
Yes.
zombies, zombie clerics in particular, rats,
What is Graveborn Muse?
Graveborn is a zombie.
Okay.
I don't think it's any. I don't think it has a subtype.
Is there? There's no possible way you name like factory worker, right? Because it hits you just
Assembly worker?
Or
No.
assembly worker?
No, because you have assembly workers in the
Right.
deck too. I don't think you're ever gonna name assembly worker. I think you're just always gonna name
He names wizard.
wizard. Wizard's a good one.
You're a wizard, Harry.
But yeah, there are no humans. I can't think of any. There are no humans that I would. I can't think of any humans I would
Is
consider
Blistering
playing.
Firecat a 7/1?
It's a 7/1. You can name elemental,
Yeah.
but then I could Justin can just cast as.
I mean, you want to take care of the wizard, which is perfectly fair.
yeah. The number one card I'm worried about with Engineer Plague is definitely Grimmelofmancer.
Okay.
That card's a real problem.
That's a little wizard. You don't do nothing. Leave him alone. All right. Incoming skeletal.
Skeletal's going for 2. Yeah, that's the situation. That's where you put yourself with this deck. And you don't
I
honestly.
mean, he's at a high life total, so that
you
wasn't
don't-
bad.
No, you don't hate it. I honestly like. This is one of the reasons I like Skeletal Scrying more than Phyrexian Arena and the Moneyball lists. I'm a little outside the norm with my Moneyball my Moneyball preferences. In that I like Skeletal Scrying more than Phyrexian Arena and Bane of the Living more than Masticore.
Yeah. So I
But-
ran into a Moneyball list twice, actually. One was playing 4 Vicious Hungers in the board.
Mm-hmm.
The other one's playing Zurin Orb.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about Zurin Orb out of the board if you're really in a burn-heavy place? Just to give you that little
Oh,
hiccup.
I was talking with someone about Zernorb, and I realized I forgot to put it in my sideboard.
All right. Well, fair enough.
I do like. I think Zernorb is a concession that you can make against Burn if you are like concerned that you're going to run that deck multiple times in a tournament. I think it is. I think that deck is. I think Burn is a problem that the Moneyball list needs to solve because it has reasonable matchups against. It has a great matchup against Dreadnought. It's got a horrifyingly good matchups against the survival decks and the Terrageddon decks, and the other green and some of the other green decks. I think you have a very reasonable plan against Replenish, and against Enchantress you have a plan. I think you're a little bit unfavored just because of the velocity that Enchantress can have, but you have plans and you have ways you can win.
There's a hippie.
There's Hypnotic Spectre. Hypnotic Spectre is face up trading for that Seal of Fire.
Seal. Oh, no.
No,
So,
not even.
not even. We're just not even going to give him a chance.
Yeah, we're not messing around here. Cast Incinerate, and then thinking about the last card, is it Fire Blast?
Well, did he get rid of the Overload already?
Oh yeah, it looks like the Overload's gone.
Okay, so the Overload's gone. One unknown. What's
Let
the
me
other
use
card?
Overload.
Another Grim.
It's another Grim. Oh, that's looking grim for Justin.
Yup. Moneyball in control at a relatively healthy 14 life.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's no progress being. You can't really make progress here because of these Seals of Fire. You're just gonna take down the factory. One thing about Justin's list is that every printing is different in the deck, which is
It's a choice.
It's a pretty unusual choice. It's pretty nice, actually.
I'm behind it.
I like it. I like it.
So, yeah, we're in kind of just this holding pattern of I can deal with whatever you do, you deal with whatever I do. I think this feels like it comes down to who finds the cursed scroll.
Yeah, or whatever, the recurring source of damage that players can't contest.
Yeah.
And there's Pyrostatic Pillar, so that just makes it even more. I think what that does is that increases the sharpness of the edges, if that makes sense.
Okay, that's the correct. I was about
Yep.
to say, he knows he has Curse Curl. He should really just play the Lavamancer, let it die, so he can empty it out of his hand.
Yeah, that's probably general. That's probably right. I mean, there are draws you can get after you have Curse Scroll that allow you to.
These are some. I mean, you're doing what you have to do.
Yeah.
Skeletaling again.
Yeah, I don't love having to keep Skeletal Scrying in the deck, but yeah, exactly. You got to do what you got to do.
Now, did he? No, that would not, because he did it for 4, so it was. Pyrostatic Pillar did not count it, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, because X spells its converted mana cost is whatever the final.
So the mana value of a spell is like when you pay X as a cost, that determines what the mana value of the spell is. So in this case, it has a mana value of 5. Or
Four.
or 4 because
Yeah.
it actually was 3. Yeah.
Okay, so Curse Scroll played, though each thing that Patrick starts putting down, again, is going to be detrimental to the overall plan.
Yeah, Patrick can only really cast 2 more spells
Yes.
on account of the pyrostatic pillar. And Justin just sitting at 17 life makes this much, much more difficult.
See, and you had mentioned earlier that you did not know if you could play both Mishra's Factory and Barbarian Ring. A lot of these Pyrostatic Burn lists cut down on Fire Blasts.
Right.
To allow that, because I do think in these lists that Barbarian Ring a lot of times is more valuable than the Fire Blast. Because realistically, and I've played a decent amount of Burn, the number of games where I've won where I've cast more than 2 Fire Blasts is minimal. Like, it rarely comes to that point, and usually I just need to see 1.
Yeah. We do have we do have Patrick drawing additional Mistress Factories. Actually, I really want to attack with Mistress Factory this turn now.
Well, you have to, because you have to force those seals
Correct.
to have another target that's not your face.
Correct. And also, because now you have a second factory, you can now force the trade of both seals for the factory.
Correct. Like, that is essential. Like, if Patrick, I hope Patrick sees that, because the longer he sits and lets those seals just sit there taunting him, means they're going to go to his, God, you got to attack. I don't think you can rely on this. Like, he can't rely on this Curse Scroll because he's got so much gummed up in his hand right now. And Justin right now can, like, if you're not pressuring him at all, he's going to run the gamut here with the Curse Scroll. Pick your poison, that one. Missed
hitting with the wretch.
Now, interest.
You gotta rev those factories.
So here's an interesting play that does a lot. It forces it down, but if your plan is the Curse Scroll plan, you can attack with those factories, make him do it, and if he is gonna like kill your stuff with the Seal Fighters, he's got a Contagion in hand. He can Contagion his own factories to get his hand low so that Curse Scroll is active.
Yeah.
And that gets around a Pyrostatic Pillar.
Yeah, Patrick just passes.
You know better than I. I think you are right that the longer he just sits not attacking and pushing, the worse this is going to get.
I think it's a hard choice. And maybe Patrick is imagining, like, Justin having a blistering Firecat or drawing a blistering Firecat. But it's hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine the way that you win if you're not attacking.
Yeah, that's the playing not to lose mentality.
I'm just trying to put myself in Patrick's shoes and I'm envisioning like the way that I'm winning this game. When there's a life differential has closed a little bit with Justin at 14.
Yeah. These cursed. These cursed scroll activations with 4 mana are not where we're at right now. Yeah, he needs to. I now also think the time has slipped by where he can attack with those factories.
I think you still can.
You think so?
There's still 2 seals. There's still you still 2 seals. Okay, so activating factory.
You just attack with 1.
You just attack with 1. You just need to attack with 1. You just get in there, and if they want to go for overload on the factory. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know about taking the damage there. I think
on Justin's side.
Yeah.
You just go for the seals first.
Just seal them out and like that overload. I think you seal out factories. Like, you can't let him keep having this Curse Scroll eventually. Like, there's a thing where he had that, where that overload happened. That's where, like, I think you contagion your whole thing and empty your hand out a little bit of dead cards. Because he has a contagion in hand. Just respond to the overload.
Contagion is awkward because it does put you to 8, which is an even number.
Yeah. I mean, he got lucky on that one. Okay, maybe we just play the lottery.
Slots. Yeah.
I mean, hell.
That's a factory.
Could be worse.
That's a great draw.
That's a beautiful draw.
It's the best draw in your deck, basically. So you just get to fire up factory and attack.
Yup.
Yeah, I think Patrick has figured out what the plan has to be.
Yes.
So attacking with the factory. Then Justin's got to think about what resources they want to commit to actually answering this factory. And this is where it just gets awkward, right, from the burn side. You know, they just taking and going to 8.
I don't know if you can take hits, because eventually, like, he'll just get lucky on curse scroll strikes. Like law of averages.
I mean, maybe Justin's just thinking about, you know, the game states in which Justin draws a fire cat. Is that just there's just
that's
a
a fire
cat?
cat. Just
There's just hard casting a fire cat.
Oh, I thought he was going to morph it.
Hard cast fire cat.
Yep.
And this demands a response from Patrick here. Going to combat, and then the question is, do you have something? Do you have contagion?
He's been sitting on a contagion.
I mean, contagion here is just a huge blowout, right?
Yeah, you just take one and like you're okay with it, and your curse scroll gets better.
Can't you just You can just hard cast it.
You can but you want, like, there's also like that duress isn't. He's never going to cast this duress, so why not utilize it?
But paying 1 life is horrible, right? You just hard cast it. Like, what else do you spend? You just are like, oh, I'm going to spin with scroll. I think it's worth more damage to you. It's worth more damage to you I feel it feels worth more damage to just hard cast the spell, because it just means you get to cast an additional spell during the game.
Oh, he got it.
Oh, okay. Well, you can always just get lucky too.
Yeah.
But just hitting with that duress on the fire cat. And now it just seems like Patrick is in a commanding position here.
I think that overload targeting a factory was incorrect.
I think it is.
Like you brought in that overload for the curse scrolls. You didn't bring it in for the factories. There's no way you bring that in. If you took curse scroll out of the equation, there's no way you're bringing it in for the factories.
Right. You're more. Yeah, I agree. I agree that you'd rather trade your seals for the factories than trade these curse scrolls. Are those? Is that 3 seal of fires?
3 seal of fires.
So Patrick can't really cast any more spells, but does Patrick need to cast any more spells?
No, he's got this curse scroll.
Curse scroll and factories.
Yeah, and that's why like he got lucky on it, but that's why I keep advocating this. Let's get that contagion. Yes, it's 1 damage.
Right. Yeah, you make it more likely to get lucky. Yeah, I can see. It is a point of damage. Getting more cards out of hand does allow you to represent more damage with Curse Scroll.
Yeah, or even as you said, hard cast it for a turn. That's fine. It has the same effect. Cool.
Yeah.
But now it's just rotting in his hand.
Yeah.
Why are you not dealing with this fact?
Justin's just at 4.
Okay.
This is an interesting game. I think
it is really interesting.
I think both players are learning this matchup on the fly, and that is always a beautiful thing to see.
Yes, it's complex too. Like, this math is not easy.
Nope. It is math. It is math, though. You are just solving a system of linear equations.
Some of us got the very not awesome grades in the maths.
Fair enough.
I can count to 20. I can't do subtractions.
I mean, I took too much. I had too many theoretical math classes, so I can't actually do computations anymore.
Fair enough.
Sulfuric Vortex is a
play, and get him. Yeah. No, but this leaves him open to getting.
Yeah. And Justin is just dead here. Second Vortex, that doesn't do it. Yeah. So Patrick takes it down on Moneyball.
Yep, absolutely.
And so we just see. I described when we opened this, I did describe Burn as an unfavorable matchup for Moneyball, but you just see, like, Burn can just deal itself a bunch of damage and put itself in situations where you get to attack and deal damage turn over turn, and Burn can't.
Yeah. So I think Moneyball is traditionally bad against a typical Sly list.
Mm-hmm.
I think Pyrostatic, as you were saying, Pyrostatic Pillar opens up the lines that we just saw.
Yeah.
It's not like, I think you. Yeah, I could see almost like taking out the Pyrostatic Pillars too.
I think you just have too few cards to sideboard in, and the card you don't want in your deck is Sulfuric Vortex, even more than Pyrostatic Pillar.
I think you can take out the. I honestly don't mind the Phyrex. Oh no, he doesn't have Phyrex, for instance, in this board. What else were we saying? You could Price Progress. You could bring in.
Mogg Salvage.
Mogg Salvage.
Like, if you really care that much about Curse Scroll, you can bring a Mogg Salvage. I think it's a little too expensive.
It is, but we just like Curse Scroll's a freaking mirror breaker ish.
It is.
It's a card.
It's the most important card. It's the most important card in either player's 75, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just having played this matchup.
So maybe it is.
I know I don't love it, but like right now, like I'm playing powder kegs in my Moneyball sideboard because I just want to deal with Curse Scroll.
That card's a very one of them cards that we just saw jump up to be on the MTG Finance side, but surprised that it has been this low for this long.
Yeah, reserve. It's a reserve list card. And yeah, we're just gonna move right into round 5.
All right, round 5. Is that where we're at? Beautiful.
So don't go anywhere because we got our final round of Swiss.
We here?
And we got table 5. Jordan and Andrew in table 5. So I'm gonna get that updated for you all.